I'm at Liverpool Street Station as thousands of Londoners battle into work today as the capital is hit by the 5th tube strike this year. Today's strike by the RMT union, which will be followed by a national rail strike tomorrow on Saturday, is somewhat unbelievably the 12th day of woe for travellers this year. The combination of tube strikes and rail strikes has caused havoc across the country, and particularly in the capital, which is trying to recover from the effects of the pandemic. Now, I've just spoken to Transport for London and its advice is very clear: do not use the tube today. There will be little bits of the underground that will remain open, such as the top of the Northern Line or the eastern section of the District Line out beyond West Ham. But by and large, more than 90% of the underground will not be open, and the advice is do not try to travel on the London Underground today. However, there is slightly better news. The Elizabeth line, you can see the station behind me, that is open. The London Overground is also open, however both are running slightly fewer services than normal. There's also a bus strike in West London to contend with. About 50 bus routes are affected by a separate strike to the RMT's dispute with London Underground. The big question though is, what does all this mean for London? Well, what is now happening is that a head of steam is gathering amongst the business community, and certainly amongst commuters, who are essentially saying enough is enough, something must be done to stop these strikes going ahead. No more strike dates are announced, but it's entirely possible that more could be called because the RMT's dispute with TfL is not resolved. It's primarily over pensions and working conditions. The RMT is concerned about 600 job losses at TfL stations. Posts are being axed. There are no compulsory redundancies, but people who leave, their jobs are not being replaced. So basically what's happening today is that organisations such as Business London, the business improvement districts are saying the government must step in. We must get the government, Transport for London and the unions all round the table, and they must hammer out a deal and stop these strikes happening again, because all they're doing is making it more difficult for London to recover from the pandemic.